that out of the way, yeah, let's just get right into it. We had some very interesting games. I think both series were 3-1. One pretty expected result, one not so expected result. We'll just start off with the DSG Dig series. Or actually, the other one, the Lion 100T. Yeah, let's start off with that one. 100T had a bit of a glow up. It was a little bit surprising. I know all the pro players were like, yeah, we think 100 Thieves are going to win because they're doing better in scrims. But like scrims have never really mattered to 100 Thieves. Like sometimes they were absolutely horrible in scrims and they making it all the way to the finals of LTA. And then sometimes they're just like, hey, we're doing well in scrims. And then they're just like going 0-6. And it's like, well, what's going on here? So yeah, I didn't have much faith in 100 Thieves. I will be honest. I thought that like the fact that they were saying they didn't have faith in Golden Glue, it just seemed like things were crumbling. Apparently, with Dokla coming back in, they figured stuff out. They are meshing much better. We saw Quid play champions that he's known for. He played 3 melee champions. Played Galio, Akali, and I don't remember the third melee, but he played another melee champion in his matchup. Yes, he played the Yone. They first picked Yone. So yeah, he's like playing more confident. River is still River. I thought he was always good. I know he like throws sometimes, but it's hard when your team kind of sucks. Like, yeah, you're obviously gonna throw. They were playing against a good team. This wasn't like DSG, which we'll talk about later. They played against a good team. Lion is a good team. And yeah, they just kind of were able to outdraft them, out macro them, outfight them, out like. The early games were rough. Lion was figuring out how to win the game. And then, sure, game 1, they kind of threw. I won't even give 100T like too much credit for that because it was like 95%, Lion. But then game 2 and game 4, like definitely they were finding their moments. They were much more particular about which fights they fight. And the fights that they did take, they just won them. They outhands Lion, outperformed them. And it's if you're a 100 Thieves fan, it's nice to see. I know David, I watched his rendezvous and he was very happy and he was like, we can do this against Team Liquid. I'm like, no, you can't. But we'll get to that later. I just think that I mean, as a League of Legends fan, as a LCS fan, I don't want to see 100 Thieves play anymore. It's nice that they're glowing up. It's nice. I want to see Golden Glue succeed. I just don't want to see this 100 Thieves play anymore. I just want them to get 0-3'd and just get out. Like, from the beginning of the year, I've been done with them, and I'm just ready to be done with them. But as for the actual roster, which I have to like kind of separate in my mind, okay, there's the 100 Thieves org, and then there's the roster. The roster, I'm happy for how they're playing. I want them to do well. Specifically, honestly, Golden Glue. He's really the one that I want to see do well. I don't have too much care for a lot of the players. But how have you seen their gameplay, and what do you think about what we saw from them this weekend?
I think it was a combination of they look like human beings and they're going up against in my opinion, not a very good team. I know Lion is starting to get more respect, and I do think next year they will have a lot more going for them. I think this year's been a complete wash with their visa issues and the team not really meshing and having to like change their roster consistently. I think they'll find a better footing next year. Depending on like what the pieces, I think like Audi and Lions, they were up and down. Like even in that series, you thought like they had chances to make things happen, then it just looked really like rough. 400 Thieves, do I think they're back? No. Do I think does it at least make it a little bit more competitive against TL? Absolutely, because I don't think TL's particularly firing at all cylinders either, and I think like that's what you kind of was hoping for. You don't want this kind of, you want the lower bracket to feel like a gauntlet, kind of what you're getting in VCT at the moment. Like each team is as skilled as the other, but it feels like an LTA is kind of, there is definitely a hierarchy. And I think fortunately for 100 Thieves, they're facing one of the teams that I don't think they had a lot going for them. This were like, they look better, but to me there wasn't enough. I know people like do respect Lion though, and they feel like they actually are a pretty decent team, but like you was alluding to, like scrims doesn't really account for like what do you do on stage.
I mean, if you watch the first 20 minutes of the Lion versus 100 Thieves, you'd be like, oh, that's going to be a stomp. It's going to be a 3-0 stomp. Like Lion completely controlled every single fight, and then they had one fight where Lion, like, by the way, Audi was playing incredible. Like this guy was playing in Worlds form, like we saw of him in play-ins last year when they beat 100 Thieves. He was playing so well. The one time he engages instead of playing Peel, and Zinzao, like you have your E, you hit your W, you're like, I gotta go in, you know? The one fight he doesn't, his entire team just gets completely wiped. I don't know what was wrong with Henna. Like, I'm just gonna be honest. Like, everybody's talking about how great Saint and Henna were, Like, Saint was going toe to toe with Quid. I know Quid was popping off, but he was going toe to toe with Quid. Henna just like threw games left and right. Didn't use flash, didn't like dodge. He was just actively playing bad. He was playing bad League of Legends. He was the worst player in the lobby. Yeah. You can't have that from your superstar Korean import AD carry. You just can't. He had one bad series. I don't think I've seen a single bad series from Henna. This was the only bad series he played. Who knows? Maybe he plays well. They still lose, but like, I mean, your AD carry not using flash. Like, what are you, double lift? Like, you can't do that.
Yeah, and I think it's like now 400 Thieves looking forward. What have you kind of got going for you against Team Liquid? I think the hope is that you can abuse top lane like everyone has been doing this split. Impact still does look great.
Impact gave it to Fudge to Bwipo. Impact. He played the carries. He was like, you know what? I'm just gonna play what I know. Like Rumble used to be my pocket pick.
But Bwipo's style can make you look like a half decent player. Like just like from him, absolutely turbo straight. Like the guy was playing freaking Singe. Like I wasn't expecting that. Yeah, I am looking forward. Like the orgs are going back and forth on Twitter. I don't know if you've seen like 100 Thieves and TL. Have you not seen? So like 100 Thieves was tweeting that even one of the teams like they're going back and forth about like which general they had, and then like TL ended it with like I'll have to get it up because I really don't want to watch it, but it's basically like free sniper is what they were like kind of alluding to at the end.
That's funny, free sniper. Yeah, I mean, when we do our matchups previews, we can talk more about like the actual head-to-head and like our predictions. But I think Impact has been playing a lot better than he did in the beginning of the year or in the beginning of the split as well. And I think maybe we don't really recognize it.
That wasn't hard. He was playing like
I know, but like we have to stop pretending. We have to stop pretending like he's still inting. Like he's like not inting now. Sure, he's not carrying, but he's not inting, which was a big problem.
Do we want to go like into that match, or do we want to go to big?
I want to talk about Dignitas, but I do want to say one more thing about 100 Thieves. I understand the synergy between FBI and like Dokla. I didn't think Dokla played well. I still don't think Dokla is an upgrade to Sniper in like the 1-to-1. I think Sniper was playing bad. I think maybe Dokla's playing a little bit better. I'll take that back. Dokla's playing like a little bit better. I think maybe it's like a vibes thing or something. I still very strongly do not like what they did to Sniper. Like this is one you can't like your coach becoming your player, like taking your spot. I will continue to say, even if this works out, I still find it very scummy what they did.
And
I disapprove of it.
And then he even said in an interview on Twitter, he's like, I could have chosen Lion. Like
yeah, he said that.
So was you lying then? Or was 100 Thieves lying when they said they're bringing in Dokla as a coach?
I mean, maybe the options were coaching on 100 Thieves or playing on Lion, or maybe even coaching on Lion. Like, who knows, right? He didn't elaborate, but I saw the tweet. But like, yeah, I am not very happy with the whole situation. No hate to Dokla. Just I'm not happy with the situation. And, you know, maybe the team came to him and be like, hey, we want you to play. And he was like, okay. Like, from no input. But yeah, as a coach, you just don't do that. As a coach, you just don't do that. Like, I remember when Power of Evil joined TSM because Bjergsen moved to coaching, he had in his contract, he was like, look, I'm not going to have this thing, like, if I don't play well or if something happens and Bjergsen wants to play, he can take my spot. He's more popular, he has more pull. So they put in his contract that Bjergsen could not take your spot. So, like, do we have to go back to those days? Or it's like, oh, if you're bringing me a positional coach, you have to put it in my contract that my positional coach can't take my spot or else I'm not going to trust the coach. Like, I
Yeah.
just think it opens a can of worms that really you should not be introducing in, and maybe one day we'll get more details on what happened. It seems like there was, like, I think this is public now, but like there are some players that weren't happy with Sniper and wanted Sniper benched, and maybe that's what instigated it. And you're like, well, we already have a coach, maybe he can play, but yeah.
I just don't want to see him
We
play
can move on
anymore.
to